Detroit and the things that how I see it as a great view in on gentrification, because I used Grand Rapids as an example yesterday. I used Brooklyn, and I didn't use Chicago as much as an example.
Right.
But when you go to Grand Rapids, neighborhoods are completely gentrified.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just imagine going down like 7 Mile or Otter Drive, or even like a neighborhood on the east side, and seeing all those homes looking like how they did in the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on in Grand Rapids. And I was explaining to him that gentrification, people look at gentrification either as a good thing or a bad thing, and I don't think it can be labeled. I do think that it does have a good effect and a bad effect. Mm-hmm. But it has such a beautiful outcome that it's so hard to fight it with negativity. You have to fight it with, not necessarily fight it, but you have to approach it in a manner where it's just as sweet as it looks.
So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brittany, so let me ask you this. With gentrification
Mm-hmm.
and the end result, will it be a large population of people that will be affected by it positively or negatively?
Well, like we talked about, is looking at the things that are similar that are around you. In Grand Rapids, when I take a look at the city, it seems to be subtle, and it doesn't seem like it's having a huge negative effect. But we have to know that it is. People are who are under the poverty line.
Yes.
Who I'm losing my words. Who are underprivileged are being affected, and of course.
Right.
So
and that the underprivileged, and you go to the suburbs and you see the positive outcome.
Mm-hmm. The seemingly
the imagery of that. But when you really go into the neighborhoods, like I said, I did canvassing for Fight for 15, and that kind of just sparked my idea for Freedom Move. Really getting that close encounter with people and hearing their stories and their life stories. And I went to one of the homes, and it was a vacant home, and it was inaccessible. And when we're canvassing, we got like an accessible one door knock or whatever, it's just a tally. So when I was about to mark inaccessible, as soon as I seen a kid knock on the window like, "Hey, how you doing, sir?" I'm like, "Whoa." And I went to the house. I kind of talked to the parent, the mother, and she just told me like, it's so much going on out here that we're not really seeing the full effect of the prosper within wealth, within just the whole gentrification.
It's not being distributed.
Right. It's not. It's not. And you can see the effect on the faces, and they're living in abandoned homes.
Yep.
Some people will argue, well, you have to start somewhere and then build out.
Well,
right.
And that's kind of the point. So there's 2 points that I'm trying to make. That gentrification, of course, is gonna have a negative effect on people, and that negative effect are on the people who have lived in the community the longest. Mm-hmm. So in order to give those people, for Freedom Move, what you guys want to do, to me, the point I'm making is that your documentary has the opportunity to really highlight gentrification to a point where not necessarily it's the protesting, it's the fighting, and where you're turning people's ear away from it because it's so beautiful, but it'll allow people to see gentrification from a perspective.
It's flaws.
It's flaws. And sometimes you have to, the reason why I mentioned Brooklyn and when I mentioned Grand Rapids, fully developed, gentrified cities. You can take it from that angle where you're seeing neighborhood. Right now, Detroit, like I told you, you guys are in a perfect time frame in Detroit because Midtown is still not completely gentrified. And Midtown and Campus Martians are supposed to be the most up-to-date parts of downtown Detroit. Mm-hmm. And it's a perfect spot because there's still amazing areas where Detroit is still authentic, and you have the chance to film the gentrification starting to really, really take its course. But you also have to catch cities like Grand Rapids and Brooklyn where the neighborhoods themselves have been completely gentrified. And when you are able to take a neighborhood that's completely gentrified, the 1950 looking homes that are completely up to date, and you come back and you film this city where it's not completely gentrified, you're able to kind of give people your perspective of it. And people themselves can form an opinion of what gentrification really truly does on the positive and the negative aspect of it.
Yes.
So I just think that it has to, people that have been attacking gentrification in other cities have not been doing a good enough job, because it continues to grow.
And to riot.
It continues to come to cities like Detroit.
Look at Chicago.
And exactly. Yeah. And people are protesting, people are fighting. That's why I said you cannot fight something that has such a quote unquote good outcome with negativity. People don't hear.
That's why we say, freedom move is not a race. It's a people. It's a community. And we're building like-minded people, and we're building a community of people that have the same ideas of creativity, how we can be swayed against the gentrification. And the more people we build, just like the civil rights movement, the boycott. You know what I mean? When Rosa Parks did that, and we just boycotted all the buses, that was powerful.
Yes.
We did not riot. You know what I mean? It was peaceful, and we walked.
And the thing is, and during those moments, and I'm not cutting you off, because everything you're saying is powerful, but the thing is when we talked about yesterday, looking at the past and being able to grab from the past, and not necessarily mimic,
right?
Because it's a different time frame,
right?
But when you look in the past, they use their tools and their resources. And their tools and resources were living each day by day, taking each opportunity that came their way and that came up in front of them, and use that to fight. They didn't go and use anything out of their element to fight. They used, I've just had a hard day at work and you gonna put me on the back of the bus? No.
Right.
So it takes for...
It's very humane.
Yes. So can we fight in a similar sense to how they fought back in the day? Of course. But we also have our own resources and tools to fight as well. By just living everyday life and doing what you guys are doing on some chill shit, living our dreams, coming together, finding collective people that think the same, and then that's how you grow the tools to fight properly.
Yes.
Anyone can fight. A dog can fight.
And we're supplying us resources though, so when we're gone, that next generation will have the same idea, the same foundation of what we created. Just speaking on that basis of creation. We want to expand worldwide. This is international. This is an international movement, and with this worldwide expansion, I could be in Tokyo. Garrett could be in Michigan, and even though I'm a founder of Freedom Move, it's just as much as his as it is mine, because he's gonna represent what Freedom Move is as the embodiment of it when he's in Michigan. I'm gonna represent it out there. So everyone's getting an equal share, and that's what it is. We have to share with one another. You know what I mean? It's all about giving. Like I said, you gotta be selfless.
I love that. I was just gonna ask you to touch on that. Like, you touched me so much yesterday and inspired me yesterday when you mentioned that about not just being around people who have collective thinking, but people who are over themselves, people who want to give so much that they have no time to think about the betterment of what they're doing or the betterment of themselves. Like, it's just giving, and whatever the outcome is, it is what it is, and it'll all be positivity, of course. But it's just, I love what you said yesterday. It's awesome. Not too many people think like that. More people thought about finding people who thought like them. And the other part is those people can have to be completely over themselves.
Right, yeah.
Not to say that you don't love yourself, not to say that you don't want to empower yourself and go to New Mexico and live your dreams, but you're doing it for a bigger cause.
It's about providing that space for people to like you saying like that, like inspire you. Like, some people never hear that. Some people never are like in that position, in that space with those people that they're allowed to like drop the mask from the daily life and like allow themselves to like communicate on like a different level other than just habitual patterns of speech. Like coming together in a community and like incorporating like where we want to go, like not only as a city but as a people. And like not only just like preaching that but like being that. Like in everyday life, because like you're on and off the court, like just do it.
It's a saying that you're not a human being, you're a human being.
Yeah.
It's right now.
Yeah.
And you're right now, we're moving. Ideas are connecting. We're having collective ideas, and we're gonna bring that together. And that's what Freedom Move is.
Yeah.
You're moving into an end goal, moving into an idea that you've seen before, that you've, just wondered about when as a kid. You're outside playing baseball with your dad or something. And, you guys are going out. I can remember that my dad, us going out playing football. But we were out there moving. We have an imagination. Oh, I'm this person. I'm Barry Sanders. I'm Jerry Rice. You know what I mean? But you've seen an end goal. You've seen yourself playing ball. Just like Freedom Move, you see yourself moving into the idea. And that's what Freedom Move is. Thank you.